My family and I were planning on going to both nights or evenings of City Fest. We went Saturday night and we were planning on going Sunday until, unfortunately, my youngest son decided to get the flu. So, of course, I stayed home, and then all of a sudden the Lord just told me to start praying and to pray for those that had not received salvation yet. And while I was praying, the Lord gave me a specific word, and He gave me the word homeless. So I started to pray for this homeless person, and then I started to weep. And then as I was praying, the Lord led me to pray for a mentor for this homeless person. So after that, I just thought, wow, you know, that was pretty heavy, and I just thought, I hope one day I could know what that prayer was all about.
Well, when I first heard about City Fest, it was something I really wanted to be involved with. So I went to the Friendship Evangelism training and was excited about being a part of City Fest. I went the first night, but the shuttle had just left, and there were a couple of guys standing around there, and we said, why don't we just walk down there? It's only like a mile, and it was a beautiful night. When it came time for Andrew to give the invitation, nobody around me raised their hands. And I was kind of disappointed because I had hoped to be praying with someone and, you know, share the gospel with them. So I just made up my mind, I'm just going to go back to town and walk the same way, and I'm going to start talking to people. I didn't get home until about 12:30 that night, and I was just so excited. I determined I'm definitely going back the next night. I talked to my friend David at church and told him about it and said, hey, you want to go with me? He said, yeah, he'd love to. When it came time for the invitation, we had already determined that we were going to walk downtown again and talk to people on the street. And the first person we saw sitting at Rosa Parks Square was a young man sitting on the ledge there. And we sat down with him and started to talk to him, and he had said that he had just had someone pray with him at City Fest and found out that he was homeless and that he was a 21-year-old man from Honduras, had come over when he was 15. And it was at that point that the Lord said, well, why don't you just take him home with you? And I just made a decision that why don't he just stay with me for now? And we'll just do life together, and, you know, I'll disciple him. And that was 5 weeks ago now.
Well, I did not realize that my dad was a prayer mentor for City Fest.
We didn't tell each other our stories until about a week or so later when she was over for dinner with her family.
I had no idea he was there Sunday night.
And I was telling her what had happened, my experience at City Fest.
When my dad was telling me this, I was just like, stop, wait, you are not going to believe what happened that night.
And she says, you are not going to believe this, but that night I was praying for someone to have a mentor, and it turns out that was me.
And we just looked at each other in amazement and just started to laugh, like we just couldn't believe it.
Every time I look back on the whole process, I just see how God has been orchestrating this whole event. God cares about everybody. Every human being is made in His image, and every soul is precious to Him. And it doesn't matter if you were Rich DeVos, who was a great man and invested greatly in this, or if you're a young man, 21, homeless, from a different country. God sees no difference. Each one is valued by Him the same.
And we've been praying that God would bring you here. You may have come for the entertainers or something, but I'm telling you right now, you came here because God has a special encounter for you in your life.